Hey, let's talk Jello pudding pops and Bill Cosby, the rapist. I've been reading this for the past couple weeks, and it's pretty divided on people who support him and people who just know he's a fucking rapist. Those of us who remember that this isn't new. This shit came out in like the late 80s, early 90s. These accusations have surrounded Bill Cosby for years. It's just us being the type of people we are. We like scandal after scandal after scandal. So a lot of times we forget about scandals. And then we have to be reminded of them later on that, oh, don't you remember when Bill Cosby raped those women? Oh, yeah. You know, shit like that has to be remembered because there's so many. You know, Michael Jackson gets thrown in there. You get some Kim Kardashian and family shit thrown in there. We forget all these scandals. So this comedian brought it up a few weeks ago, you know, telling people, look, Google, you know, Bill Cosby rapist and see what you get. So that brought it up. But if you read the comments on the internet, these people that are defending him are saying, why did these fucking sluts wait 30 years to come up? They're just gold diggers. They just want that money. You know, that's all it's about is about that money. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, first of all, it's not new. And they didn't bring it back up. Some comedian brought it up 2 weeks ago, and that's what spiraled it back into the news. The news then contacted the previous accusers, who are not new, who made these accusations decades ago, and have asked them to again appear. So the comedian brought it up, the news went to them, and that's where we're at now. So all of these people, and they're on there, Bill Cosby, he's such a good upstanding man, he don't even use curse words, blah, blah, blah. So that means that you can't be a rapist? Let's talk about, what was his name? William Jesp, the guy, the Mormon guy who was, you know, had all the wives that were like 10, 12, 13. You know, I bet he didn't cuss either. I bet he acted like a good family man too while he was raping all those young girls. That's why he's in jail. If Bill Cosby, you know, these women went to the cops back then, a lot of them. And the cops, you know, they didn't have enough evidence. And the reason that women don't report rape is the exact reason that that we're seeing online now, because people don't believe them, and then they turn it around on the victim. So even when the rape is valid, people still don't believe the rape victim. And if it's a celebrity, they're not going to believe it. But think about this. They're saying that it's just a shakedown for his money. If that was the case, why have they targeted Bill Cosby and only Bill Cosby? If this was a natural occurrence of, you know, gold diggers out to get the celebrities, it would be happening to every celebrity, you know, all the males out there would be accused of rape all the time, over and over and over and over. But for some reason, it just seems to surround Bill Cosby. And, you know, there were 14 of them. Now we're up to 16 of them, and plus Janice Dickinson just came out. So that's 17 now. Okay, it's one or two, okay. But this is 17 different women over the 70s, 80s, and 90s. You know, these things supposedly happened to. They didn't know each other. They happened in different states, in different periods of time, and they all give the same similar, you know, story. And he's only settled out of court as far, or that he'll admit to, one time that we know of. But he did settle out of court. And my point of all of this is, now he has lost an NBC TV show. Netflix has put his latest comedy special, they've shelved it. It was supposed to debut like next week on Thanksgiving Day, I think. They've shelved that for the time being. He has lost appearances on Queen Latifah, David Letterman, and something else. And he just lost something else. Okay, those are all monetary things that he has now lost. If these women are lying, and if these are false accusations, if he doesn't want to comment on them, that's fine. But why doesn't he say, you know what? If they don't stop this horse rat shit nonsense, I'm going to sue them for slander and libel. And I'm going to win. Because these allegations are false, and they know it, and I have just addressed these years ago. And the fact that they're being re-brought up now, and has cost me millions of dollars, these women are going to pay for it. Why hasn't he said that? The reason is because if he sues them for slander or libel, then he's going to have to sit down for depositions, and he's going to have to take the stand. Because in America, you have the right to confront your accuser. In a civil case, just like O.J. Simpson had to, you have to take the stand because your accuser has the right to confront you. This isn't a criminal case where you have the right to testify or not. You have to, and you have to sit for these depositions. So by sitting for these depositions, all of this goes on the record, and then he has to give details about things that have to be corroborated, and he has to go back and, details have to be checked out and blah, blah, blah. So he will never sue these women. Why? Because he raped them. You tell me if you were a celebrity or not a celebrity. If you had 16 women accusing you of rape and you did not do it, and it has cost you your job, it's cost you your house, it's cost you personal friendships, etc., etc., are you just going to sit there and just let them continue to do it? Are you going to take the legal recourse that you have to shut them the fuck up with their false accusations? Which one are you going to do? And as a wife, if your husband had 16 or 17 women accusing him of sexual assault, would you really be so quick to defend your husband of, oh, maybe he did do it? And then if he comes home to you one night and says, I think we need to settle with this one because we just need to settle for some cash with this one, if you know what I mean, honey. Would you stick around that husband like his wife has done? I mean, okay, if it was one, okay, that could be the gold-digging fluke wanting a celebrity, maybe even 2, but not 17. And these people saying that, these women just want their 15 minutes of fame. Yeah, because everybody wants their 15 minutes of fame to be letting the world know that Bill Cosby raped them and then went and ate a fucking Jell-O pudding pop. That's what people want their 15 minutes of fame to be. I mean, how fucking ridiculous. So, my point is, if it was 1 or 2, fine. But you know what, people? Educate yourself about this shit. These women did not bring this up. It was re-brought up, by the media, basically. And these accusations are not new. They have been around for a long, long time. And I'm sure that the people close to Bill Cosby have told their daughters, stay away from that motherfucker, and if he ever offers you anything to drink, you pour it down the fucking sink, you hear me? I'm positive of it. Bill Cosby is a rapist, and the reason he has not filed suit and not addressed his accusations is because he knows what he's done, and he knows if he opens his mouth, he goes on record, and he can't go on record in any way because he's old, and that motherfucker might slip up. The only chance we have with getting a Bill Cosby is maybe he'll live long enough to get Alzheimer's or dementia, and he'll just start blabbing. So then the truth will come out. But until then, he ain't ever going to say a word on it because he knows what he did, and he knows that if he ever tries to file suit, it'll all come out in the wash, and everything he worked so hard for will be destroyed, which is kind of already being destroyed. But anyway, I just wanted to address that because this Bill Cosby shit is getting out of control too. But what's really out of control is that people won't even take 5 minutes to do a little bit of research and see that this isn't new, and that quit blaming these women. They didn't come forward again and rehash this. The media rehashed this over some joke that a comedian made. So, enjoy Jell-O pudding pop, but Bill Cosby's a rapist, and everybody knows it.